Okay. Good morning and welcome, guys. Welcome from wherever in the world you're joining us. Please do let us know in the comments where exactly you are joining. My name is Dane van der Must, as usual. And the last time I checked, this is Wednesday's Pounds for Breakfast. Guys, thank you for all the amazing wishes yesterday. I feel well. I feel on my way to recovery, feeling much better, much stronger. So we are in for a cracker of the day. If you guys remember the message from this morning, today is the day we've been waiting for. From a fundamental data perspective, things are about to get big. Things are about to get massive. Now, listen, a quick one. If you guys have already started with claiming your 100% deposit bonus, well done, guys. This is going to last all the way until the 21st of December. But I'm going to tell you now, we're going to bring the heat over the next 4 weeks. That can really help you to take advantage of markets in a massive way. And we're going to be trading some really crazy things over the coming period, right? So for those of you who have your premium accounts, we do have dollars for lunch this afternoon. For those who have premium plus, we are also going to be trading some of that US fundamental data, as well as we're going to be having a trade-a-thon this evening, and we're going to be covering that FOMC meeting minutes, right? That is going to drive the markets. That's going to be nuts. That's going to be powerful. And I'm super pumped for this evening session. We are going to start a few minutes prior. We're going to set up some pending orders. You know what it's all about. But other than that, guys, if you've already started and opened up your different packages, for those of you already in Premium Plus, let me know if you guys have started utilizing some of the services, right? The My Favorites tab in your client's area is absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you guys some of our favorites for today that have been posted. Really powerful trades, and just takes your trading game to a whole other level. So we are going to start with our news. We're going to jump into that, but quick message from our sponsor, who is us. Okay, good stuff. So we are going to jump straight into the news, and we're going to have a look at what is available to us this morning in the markets. As usual, we're going to start on a local front, and I've said to you guys, we want me to cut out the local news. Let me know. It is going to become a bigger focus in the future as we start to really look at bringing in JSE instruments onto the platform. And that's something we're working on developing in a later time, because there's no better opportunity than to trade local, right? We understand what's happening on the local front. We buy from Spar, we purchase fuel from Sasol. We're involved with a lot of the companies from a day-to-day basis as consumers. And how amazing would it be if we could then also trade those instruments that we are actively contributing for? And I've spoken about this before, right? If you're in the passenger seat, you're just consuming products. If you're just buying Apple devices and you're not invest or understanding the Apple's share price movement, you're just in the passenger seat. You're helping to drive that value of that company towards that top side. But if you're also an investor, if you're also understanding and speculating on price, you're now in the driver's seat. That as the rest of the world consumes these products and services, you're in a position to make money towards downside or the top side, depending what price action tells us. So just an important concept. But again, local news tends to be a little bit more depressing than others. So you guys let me know in the comments and in the chat what you guys think about that. Now, before we jump into the news, just a real quick one, just a shout out to our amazing community. I can see every single one of you in here. Waisa Tony is the first one to comment. Zane, Alferno, I can see Martina's in the house. I can see Ruan, Kanya, Shamim, welcome. Garrett, Cohen, Rishmi, Waylon, Gilbert, welcome. BRX Tradings, welcome to the house. I think you might be new. And listen, guys, if you're brand new, first time joining any of our live sessions, or this week is your first time that you're joining the Globex 360 family, just put your hands up in the air and let us know where in the world you're joining us from, and just say you're new, it's your first time here, so we can give you a warm Globex 360 welcome. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to go through the rest of the names in a second. Our YouTube channel, as I mentioned earlier on, has now been monetized. We are a YouTube partner. So that means we can create a members area. And this is going to be great. We're going to be able to allocate badges. You're going to be able to jump in and participate. We're going to have a lot of special shows that are outside of the normal schedule, right? And these are going to be more just chatting type situations where you can ask any questions. You can tell me about your trading stories. I can tell you about my trading stories, some of my biggest wins, some of my biggest losses, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between. So the members only area is coming super soon. You guys have asked for it, and I will deliver that. I can see Montoya Sabiso, Lucky's in the house, Nadir, Reese, Lana, Darlene Shaw, welcome. Kanya, Trisha, Ashard, Troy, Lizzo, Tabi, Edwin, Aslam, and Sana. I can see Joseph in the house, Fawad is in the house, Andy, and yeah, absolutely. Weiso is always saying, I'm always the first one on the shows. And Andy's saying, as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, right? It's super important for the show. If you feel we've earned it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you never miss a brand new upload. Now, looking at the local front, let's have a look at what is happening in the world right now. We're going to start off with the news. And looking at Eskom, they're looking for another 15 billion rand to bail them out of their diesel shortage, right? So again, you can weigh in on that if you wish, but obviously it's yeah, it's a bit of a mess. The only other item that is of interest is that crypto Luna says, the Luna exchange says that clients are not affected as its parent company faces that crunch. I think it's obviously a very difficult time for anybody holding cryptocurrency in any way, shape, or form. The best way you can keep yourself safe is to move your crypto into a cold offline wallet, right? Meaning not connected to the internet, not connected with an exchange, where your crypto keys held in cold storage offline, in most cases on a hard drive, a USB, whatever the case may be, and don't lose the thing. If you lose that, it is gone. But I think obviously, yeah, it's just safer than sorry, right? At the moment, Binance is doing a massive campaign. Their rivals FTX have just gone down, and they've just signed Cristiano, doing collabs there. Cristiano Ronaldo is obviously just resigned from Manchester United, also doing a collaboration with Jacob and Co. So yeah, some big things in the market. Stay tuned for that. He also hit 500 million Instagram followers, which is just bonkers. It's absolutely nuts. Right, looking then into the pound, dollar rate, time to bet on a rebound, says HSBC, right? Well, we're going to have a look at that. We're going to see that in the price action, and let's just have a look if that is true. But looking on into the US markets, not too much to be said here. There is one article that I think is just absolutely nuts, and that is that the US is announcing Russian oil price cap in coming days, right? So again, this is with regards to the Russia-Ukraine issues at the moment, and the rest of the world is trying to get rid of Russian oil, right? And I find this article pretty backwards, right? Where the US is basically saying, listen, you're allowed to deal with Russian oil and you're allowed to buy Russian oil, but only at a certain price. And it's not a cap. It's not a cap in terms of in a price range. It's a solid cap, right? They're estimating anywhere between $20 to $40 a barrel, and it's almost like, Russia's doing all these crazy things, this unprovoked war in Ukraine. Depending on which side you sit and where your views are, obviously you can make up your own mind about that. But obviously, supporting a country that is violently acting towards another just doesn't make any sense. Now they're saying, well, listen, we want your oil, but we're only willing to pay X for it. So, it's a little bit, I don't see what they're trying to prove here. It's almost like, business as usual, money prevails over morals. I'd love to know what you guys think about that one. It's something else completely. Ashad saying Eskom should hire a bunch of traders to make money for them. Oh yeah. Let's see where that goes. So anyway, on the US side, not too much to announce there. I do think something else interesting. We got a article here from Bezos that is saying, listen, hold on to your money, right? Tough economic times coming ahead. Now, remember the significance of one of the world's wealthiest persons who makes money from consumers spending their money, right? Retail consumers spending their money. For him to come in and say, hey, listen, hold off on that new vehicle, hold off on those big purchases because tough times are coming ahead. Remember what we've been saying the last couple of weeks, if not the last couple of months. There is going to be tough economic uncertainty, right? There is going to be economic uncertainty. It is in the US. It's rippling throughout the world. And again, as we've seen from local economists, things are going to start to become extremely difficult here in South Africa in the next 3 to 5 months from now. So looking at April, May next year, if you do not have a backup plan, if you do not already have a way to absorb some of these interest rate increases, because remember, this week, the South African Reserve Bank is going up another 75 basis point, 0.75% on the base interest rate, meaning that prime rate is going to adjust up by 0.75%, meaning you're going to be paying more for your car and your homes at the end of this month, whether it's 50 basis points or 75, regardless. That's going to keep happening, right? So even if you ignore the economic uncertainty, your costs are going to rise, right? So again, if you haven't taken trading seriously, you want to take trading seriously, again, leave that like, make sure you are subscribed. And as always, my direct contact details are down below. It is the first or second link down below if you would like to direct message me. But stay tuned because you are in the perfect place to learn, to grow, to understand the markets in a deeper way across the board. Now, guys, absolutely, we've announced this yesterday. For those of you who've already jumped in and got your accounts sorted out, whether you've selected a cashback account or a bonus account, I've received a lot of questions saying, is this for existing clients? Does existing client accounts just get a bonus? And this is only for new deposits. From yesterday, from Monday the 21st, all the way until December the 21st, all deposits, if you select a deposit account, will receive 100% deposit bonus. Now, again, there's a lot of queries that I've received about what does that deposit bonus mean? And I've popped that link into the Telegram group, and that explains how the deposit bonus works. It's an equity bonus. It gives you some scenarios to help you better understand how to utilize that bonus. I received a query where someone said, if they deposit $100 and, they get another $100 in deposit bonus, that's $200 worth of equity. What if they run more than $100 in a negative? They run past their balance. Well, the first answer to that is if your negative is more than your deposit amount, right? That means even with a deposit bonus, you're running 50% into a negative, you have zero risk management, right? If you're running your whole deposit into a negative, you have zero risk management. You should have cut those losses a while ago. But even if you didn't, right, and you run past that rate, your trading technique and style at that point is already showing that you're going to blow that account, regardless of what you do, regardless of how big a deposit bonus you have, regardless of any other contributing factor. Your risk management is going to play the biggest role here. To effectively use deposit bonus, you simply want to utilize it as an equity booster, right? Not to run a negative past your balance, right? So just so you understand that, there's a lot of brokerages out there that will promote a drawdown bonus because they want you to not worry about having a negative bigger than your balance, right? And there's once or twice, there's few circumstances that can be beneficial, but for the vast 99% of people, it's just helping you to blow your account faster, right? So if that is what you're looking for, rather look at the cause of the issue. The root of the issue is risk management. Better risk management, you don't need a deposit bonus. Go for a cashback, earn real money back per trade every single time you trade, just as I do. That's my preferred method. It may differ, mileage may vary from person to person across the board. But in any event, those are some of the news items. But looking in to some of those fundamentals for today, let's jump into the fundamental data that we are looking at for the day and how that affects us from a trading perspective, right? So I've been spending quite a bit of time on this FOMC meeting for this evening. It is going to be big. It is going to be massive. And again, if you want to be a part of that, you do need $1,000 or more in your account, right? This accounts with balances. And again, you want to be part of that. You want to do some crazy trading with me tonight. I am pumped for that meeting. It's going to be big. It's going to be massive. However, we do have some other opportunities that are present in the calendar for today. So let's give them a quick look and see how they're going to run down and where we can take advantage of some of those moves. So looking at this morning, I have put this in this morning's message into the Telegram group, but we do have some meeting data that is coming out, starting off with the manufacturing PMI. We have PMI data for both the euro on the German side as well as the European side, right? We have both sets of PMI data. So anything on the euro, we want to be a little bit sensitive to the markets in the next 30 minutes. We are going to receive that data. And depending what happens here, if the PMI is positive, higher than 45 on the German side, we could see a slight boost in the rate of the euro in relation to everything else. The same thing will apply for the euro on the European side. On the services PMI, manufacturing PMI, on any of these numbers, we see a greater than forecast expectation here, or greater than forecast actual realized number. It's going to be good on that euro data, and we could see a bit of strength in the euro. But directly after that, especially having a look at a good correlation today being the euro pound, we then have some pound data 11:30. That's going to be services, manufacturing, and composite PMI data that will move the pound. Now, I'm not doing a specific separate show just for this fundamental data releases. I don't find it moves as much as what I would like on the market. So again, this is going to be for you to observe, have a look at what happens there. If you want to take advantage, go ahead and jump in and just use the fundamentals as I've taught you guys until now. And I'm pretty sure you can capitalize on that, and you can make a good amount of return there. Right, then moving up, the first serious business we're going to start to see, this will be something we're going to cover live. We're going to be looking at building permits on the dollar. We're going to be looking at core and normal durable goods orders coming out at 3:30 GMT plus 2. Initial jobless claims. Now again, this initial jobless claims number is adding up for the month of November, and we will get that data the first week of December. So again, looking at the trend, we're going to look at all those initial jobless claims. This will give us a further insight into NFP's data points that we're going to receive that first Friday, which is going to be next week Friday. It's going to be big. It's going to be massive. You want to be a part of that. And again, a premium plus type feature as well. So stick around for that. But in any event, we are going to then move into new home sales at 5 o'clock. We are going to look at crude oil inventories. We're not going to be covering this live, but it will have a knock-on effect on Brent's WTI, as well as the main item for the day, which is going to be the FOMC meeting minutes, which I will be broadcasting live. We're going to go through the minutes. We're going to look at markets volatility, and we're going to look at taking some of those trades in the markets live. Now, again, as you guys know, I was not trading and we did not hold broadcast yesterday, but if you do have a premium plus account, you would have had amazing benefits of being able to jump into your back office and have a look at some really, really amazing trade opportunities. So again, for those of you who have your premium plus accounts, you simply log into your Globex website, your back office, your client area, and then you go down to market insights, web analysis, and then you can go into our favorites. And this is where we pick some of the best market structures and opportunities available to you. You can have a look through indices, commodities, cryptos, so on and so forth, and it gives you current price when we've identified it, when our systems picked up these prices, and then we're able to take advantage of that in the markets. And I'll show you the exact same trades on my charts, and the price action is beautiful. We have a lot of opportunities today, bringing in some of those fundamentals, tying it in. We have some opportunities to make some really, really good money. All right, beautiful. Let's see. Globex 360 backup plan looks for buying opportunities in the retest. Let's see. GBP AUD has recently broken and closed down horizontal day structure. I believe made initiate bullish movement higher. Goal for buyers is a falling trend line. Now, beautiful. We might have a look at that if we get some time. Shard Solomon saying, what does that mean for inflation and how does interest rate affect the rand, right? So great question. So when we look at interest rate increases, right? Interest rate increases are designed, we've covered this in quite a bit of detail in the past. Interest rate increases are designed to slow down the money that is in circulation, right? So when interest rates are low, people are able to lend money very, very cheaply and it stimulates an economy to grow. When an economy has grown and is essentially just printing and dropping too much money in the markets, we start to see inflation. The goal of the Federal Reserve, one of the key headline figures, is inflation. So when they increase interest rates, they're trying to make it harder to lend money. And for those that have already money in the systems, right, to tie up that money, because it encourages investors to keep their monies in the banks, because you're going to get higher interest rate, higher returns on your money sitting in the bank. But those who've lent money, it'll cost them a bit more. So it creates a little bit of a strain on the economy to bring down surging and rampant inflation. So when we see interest rate rises, specifically looking at the South African rand, we will see a little bit of a negative effect, right? If we look at the past recession analysis we've done in the past, is the stock markets in the US have performed extremely well, while the dollar was extremely weak, while interest rates were rising, right? When interest rates start to fall, the dollar takes a bit of preference there. This particular season for 2022, we've seen the opposite for the dollar, and it's going to be interesting to see how that correlates sitting on the rand. But in essence, when people understand that it becomes harder and harder to acquire cheap money, that creates a lot of strain on the economy. But from an investment perspective, investors are able to invest into the South African economy, receiving higher yields, higher dividends, because interest rates are better. So it has a bit of a positive and negative effect. Unfortunately, in these cases, the people that it affects the most are the people with the least amount of money. The people that it benefits the most are the people that have the most money. So unfortunately, same old saying, but ultimately the big money keeps making money regardless of which situation it is. And that's what smart money does. So when you hear about Bezos saying, hey, save your coins, save your money, just think about that. And there's a reason behind that. It's not just useless information, considering, again, he makes his money from people spending money on things like Amazon. So I hope that, long-term cashback is the way. Absolutely, Ron saying cashback is the way. I agree 100%. I prefer cashback, but there may be circumstances in which that may not serve you, and you might want a deposit bonus. So in any event, okay, so guys, let's jump in. Let's move into our analysis section. Let's have a look at what's happening in the markets, and let's see where we can take advantage. So let's jump into that FX analysis, and it is time to have a look at what we can see and where we can potentially capitalize on. As always, we are going to start our session just having a look and touching on that dollar index and what it is up to today. All right. Now, as we can see in terms of our past analysis, we looked at that dollar index breaking a little bit of structure. We got that weakness, right, as we were expecting from that previous show. And this was, I believe, as of Monday. However, the weakness was a little bit delayed. We got a little bit of a pop first, right? We expected at this point, this is Monday, we expected a little bit of a sell-off and a potential break in structure. Markets popped off for another, hour or two, retraced, made one more pop, and then we get that break in structure. So beautiful price action there. And now we can see the dollar is in that straight retracement. We've gone through that triple top we originally identified. We originally identified that, the dollar's making this 1, 2, 3 attempt to break through. It did, but ultimately now has failed that market structure. In addition to this, we have some diagonal support here, and I think it's going to be pretty hard for the dollar today, specifically looking at some of that fundamental data that is due. But the dollar is going to take a little bit of a beating. But I just want to show you guys some quick market analysis, and this is all courtesy of our brand new systems that we've implemented. You guys have been asking, inquiring about signals, inquiring about market opportunities. It's here. And obviously just want to show you guys what that is all about and how that all means. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look on let's maybe start on the commodity side of things. So first things first, WTI, we've estimated here has an 80% probability of getting down to that $74 right there in that zone there, right? It's a little bit clearer if you're watching and having a look on a PC. I just want to show you guys this really quickly. So WTI, right, in the time that we announced that movement there, or the time it went live, we were currently sitting over there, right, on the 21st, and this was at around about 12 o'clock. If you have a look at when this was posted, when this was announced, it came in just before we went live on Monday, but this was part of our testing process. So we posted on the 18th that WTI has the potential to hit that $74 per barrel, $74.35, right? Again, look at the time. 2 o'clock in the morning on the 18th. Now, if you have a look at 2 o'clock in the morning on the 18th, Let's have a look. Okay, 2 o'clock in the morning on the 18th, you can see where we were on WTI. Right, WTI from $81 a barrel made that spike down all the way to that $74 per barrel. Now WTI is still sitting under some pretty tight resistance levels, and it'd be interesting, can we then break through that support level? That is going to be very, very interesting to see, and where we can potentially end up going there. Looking at on the Forex side of things, USD CAD is another interesting one. We sent out a notification, and this was live as of yesterday, 2 o'clock, that we have a potential to press down. Our systems identified that we've started to break a little bit of an ascending channel here. If you go have a look at USD CAD, you will see that ascending channel has broken, and we are estimating there's a high probability, a 60% probability on USD CAD, we could make that press down to that 1,333 range. So $1 buying 1 Canadian 33 cents and 36 pips in that sort of range there. That's currently sitting USD CAD. Now, in addition to that, if we start to get some of that negative fundamental data on the dollar, right, that will essentially mean that USD CAD will continue that downside move. So again, any of the fundamental data that we get out today on the dollar, whether it be more jobless claims, less homes being sold, any of those items there, specifically looking at the Fed interest rate announcement for this evening. If Powell indicates in his minutes that he's still extremely aggressive, right, as when it comes to the next interest rate, remember, we are citing December's interest rate announcement. That's where our eyes are. That's where we're focusing. If he's still aggressive there, right, this evening, we could see USD CAD push through that floor, meaning $1 is going to buy less and less Canadian, meaning the dollar is going to get weaker. And this is just one of the benefits of being a Globex 360 client and having that access to that premium plus account type, right? Remember, premium plus will give you access to our favorites, and then you have access to come into your back office, email web trader, and then simply click on our favorites just here next to my face, right there, and then you get access to that. Looking at indices, because again, that's what we're going to be focusing on a little bit this morning. I just want to show you guys this amazing opportunity on that item there. Some are saying GBP JPY is dropping. We will have a look at that in a second. Again, I'm not too interested in taking a trade on the pound at this point because we still have that fundamental data coming out. But at the moment, look, if you have a look here, Dow Jones has a 66% probability of hitting that 34,250. That came out yesterday at 6 o'clock, right? Have a look at what happened on US30 yesterday at 6 o'clock. Look at yesterday. Here's yesterday, 6 o'clock. And our systems predicted we could continue that rally to the top side, right? Markets already pushed up 1,700 pips, and that is currently looking at US30, which is Dow Jones. So guys, again, if you want any more reasons why Globex 360 is the ultimate place to be, go and have a look at the services, the technology, the systems, the staff, the amazing human beings we've brought into this business to help maintain and give you a service that's just unlike anything else, right? You will not find another broker out there that has the live broadcasts, the education, the trade opportunities, the emails, the deposit bonuses, the instruments, and the transparency and integrity that you find right here. So there's a million different reasons, and those are just a few of them. So we are going to be looking at trying to get this long continuation right there, and we do have an opportunity to push into that 34,310 mark. But we also got an alert sitting on NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ showed that there's a little bit of a channel here. The system didn't draw out the descending channel, but ultimately that we are popping towards that top side. And I just want to show you that really quickly. As you can see on NASDAQ, channel is broken. System already started to show that pop to the top side. So again, if you were just sitting and you got your alerts, right, markets would have given you an alert. Our system would have emailed you an alert. You can log in, you can have a look at those alerts, and it means pretty much between US30 and NASDAQ, you would have been in a position of running well over 2,000 pips in profit towards the top side. So again, right, I don't like the word signals because I feel people sell, you these signals where there's no insights, just buy now, sell now. And we've come up with technology providers and service providers and joint collaboration to try and get you the best valuable information that is out there. Now, again, as with everything, these things aren't guaranteed. They're subject to market moves. And they're not deemed and seen as financial advice. This should be considered educational market opportunities. But ultimately, if you go ahead and track all the data and track the opportunities that are available, it is unlike anything else that is out there right now. So just some really amazing stuff, and well done to the team on implementation of these amazing services. All right, moving on and having a look at the rest of the market. So Euro USD, we talked about buy opportunities on that breakout. If anyone bought Euro USD and continued that hold, right, you guys should be smiling. You should be running well over 100 pips towards that top side from our Monday analysis in terms of that buy on Euro USD, continuing that trend of analysis and where we've covered topics, right? We looked at Monday, that opportunity for a sell side on USD ZAR, right? Explaining we've already had a bear trap here, and if markets reverse and go past our structural support here, we very well could see another sell or continuation towards the downside. So if anybody caught that sell, right, as per analysis on Monday, then that would have been absolutely massive. We are going to start to put these things into our favorites directly on the sites, right? So now again, we are going to get the groups established this week. So within the group, we will then post our favorites into the group. We'll post levels, we'll post what we're looking at. So when we look at analyses on shows, it makes you prepared and aware, discussing markets, discussing news, things like that, specifically in the free pounds for breakfast. But then as and when opportunities become available, we will then take those opportunities and send it directly into the Telegram group. So that you have a market structure, you've got a beautifully branded market structure of where we are trading and what we are trading, as well as my personal trades. So that's going to start to have an impact already this week. So again, we're going to have a total of 4 different groups. Currently, there's a Globex 360 Live TV free group, which is where most people are currently in. There's probably about 40 other groups out there, but that is our official group. We're going to have a Globex 360 premium group. We're going to have a premium plus group, and then a private wealth group. The other 3 groups, the new groups, are going to be open, meaning you can chat, you can communicate, you can comment, you can ask questions, where the live public group is obviously locked down because we have people from other brokerages there. We have scammers, unfortunately. So we have to protect your information. And in the open groups, people can see your contact details and message you. So we will give a frequently asked question on how to protect yourself in these public groups so that your information is safe and nobody contacts you or sends you some unsolicited offers of any sort, of any kind. But anyway, USD ZAR is moving beautifully towards that downside. GBP JPY, quick look there. Someone said she's breaking towards that downside. I don't know if the person is looking at a tiny time frame, maybe 1 minute. Yeah, it's probably a 1 minute time frame. I think it's important to understand with GBP JPY that obviously is this bigger structure play here. And I think looking too closely, one could miss that move over there, right? Which is essentially parallel to our deeper support that's running here. So for me to consider this as a sell from a GBP JPY perspective, I would need that to break support, right? So if a person saw GBP JPY just moving there and just decided to sell it, again, it made a pretty nasty pullback there for 15, 20 pips, and a person might be in trouble there for a bit of a move there. So again, we obviously need GBP JPY to break that, but yes, good spotting, nice move. Obviously, we would like to see it to move a little bit differently. Euro GBP really quickly has bounced off of support. Remember, we drew this one out. Euro GBP potentially bouncing off that support, then it did beautifully. So if anybody caught that, a massive, massive, well done, massive move to the top side. In terms of US 30, in terms of NASDAQ, both of those analyses are online and they're available to you directly through the client area on the Globex 360 site. Log in, depending what account you have, and if you have that $1,000 deposits and you do have a premium plus account, you can log in, you can see all of our favorite trades, all of our potential trade opportunities there, as well as so many more instruments and system settings that are available to you. Now remember, we have that 3 o'clock dollars special fundamental data session that is going to be happening. Again, if you have a premium plus account, you have a premium account, I'll see you for the New York Stock Exchange. That's going to be happening at 4:15. And then again, for premium plus accounts, we are going to be trading those minutes tonight live. So we have 3 live trading sessions. I will be trading live. I'm going to take some opportunities, and I want to see if we can have a Wednesday we're at least banking 3,000 to 5,000 pips per instrument still today. So guys, as always, much love. I appreciate your joining and your input in every single one of the shows. Things are going to keep getting bigger, better, more massive. As always, much love from our side. Remember, do things the Globex 360 way. Until I see you guys all later, have an amazing day. Trade safe. Goodbye.